So the ULX Tiger from Finalmouse is almost here, and I finally managed to get my hands on a copy. We're gonna talk shape comparisons, QC updates, and their new ability to 3D print tester sizes at home so you can see which size works best for you before you buy. So I've been waiting for this one for a while because the Air 58 is one of my favorite sizes and shapes of all time, and I'd heard that this large size was gonna be really similar. Since we're gonna be talking a lot about size today, for reference, my hand measures 20.5 by 10.5 centimeters, and I play my best in a claw grip. The Air 58 measures 128.8 millimeters long, 60 millimeters at the grip, and is 39.4 millimeters high. The ULX Tiger is 125.8 millimeters long, 59 millimeters at the grip, and is 38 millimeters high. So it's not an exact one-for-one of the Air 58. Even though it's really close, it doesn't give me quite the same level of support under these knuckles, which is really important for my particular grip style, but everybody's gonna be a little different there. It is kind of odd too, because this large doesn't necessarily feel large. The lineup to me feels more like medium, small, and mini. The overall size of the Tiger is really on par with the Viper V2 Pro and the Superlight. In terms of hand feel, the Viper feels a touch narrower and not as tall, and the Superlight is wider and taller, more round. The biggest difference for me is that the ULX has a tendency to sit at more of an angle in my hand than those other two options. This angle doesn't seem to make any difference to how I play. This is a lot closer to my natural grip than the medium. Even though I still slightly prefer a mouse with a taller hump in the back, this mouse felt immediately natural to me, required no time to adapt. Weight has been a point of controversy on these. This is a jeweler's scale, it's been leveled and calibrated, and it's on a hard surface. My copies all weigh well under 40 grams. They're all 39 and change, and there's like a 0.3 gram margin of error between all three. This means they were able to execute this new size at a weight that's only a gram heavier than my OG Batch 1 medium. When you think about how light sub 40 grams is for a mouse this size, it's easy to point out that the Viper V2 Pro is 58.8 grams and the Superlight 2 is 59.8. I've seen people out there nitpicking their ULX copies to death, so let's do that. First things first, the sticker under the battery is gone now. We've got foam under there. I didn't even mention this in my first review, but I guess this was a big deal to some people. It feels like they revised the coating a bit too. The triggers definitely feel grippier than my first ULX. My first batch copies also had some rippling on the seams where the side panels met the bottom plate. I don't have any of that here. On all my copies of the Tiger, there's one spot on the right side panel at the bottom where it sticks out a fraction of a millimeter more than the rest of the seam, and that's consistent across all of them. In terms of sidewall creak or popping, two of my copies have absolutely none. One of my copies does have a little pop in the frame if you squeeze it at just the right specific place. Again, I'm not sure why you would do that to a mouse, but if that's important information for you, there you go. On the clicks, I didn't have any issues with my original copies, but I have seen some reported, so let's just go over them. I'm totally good with these. The scroll wheel is unchanged. I get that not everybody's a fan, but all mine are consistent. Side buttons here are still best in class, and I still love the web-based software. Even though we haven't seen 8K polling come out yet, I did speak to Final Boy the other day. He tells me that it's coming out very soon. All these copies came sealed from the factory like they always do. My original ULX mediums did as well, and mine did not have any of the frame creaking or popping. It didn't matter how hard I squeezed them. I did see quite a few reports of people that had issues with their side panels from Batch 1, but looking around, it seems like they've corrected the vast majority of those issues with Batch 2. I think it's fair to say with Finalmouse that when you buy early, you take a risk, and that's really not what you want to see out of a premium product. $190 isn't a small amount of money to most people, and this is still one of the most expensive mice out. Right now, solid wireless mice with good 4K implementation are averaging like $130. A lot of people get pissed when YouTubers get multiple copies before they get theirs, so I'm giving away 2 of my 3 copies over on Instagram starting right now. Just make sure you're subbed to this channel, go over to Instagram, find the post, follow the directions. 2 weeks, 2 winners. As always, it's open worldwide, and I'm keeping the one that has the frame pop. Who loves you? So size and shape are always king. Everybody's a little different, and it's tough to figure out what's gonna fit you exactly just by watching YouTube reviews. So this latest move by Finalmouse is pretty solid. They've released the STL files so you can 3D print your own demo of the cheetah, the lion, and the tiger at home to see which is the right fit for you before you buy. Pretty sick. These test copies obviously won't be true to weight, but it's amazing to see which one of these will fit you best or even help you decide that maybe none of them will work for you before you hand over your money. This was a really easy process. I would love to see other manufacturers do this. If you don't own a 3D printer, there's plenty of services online that'll print your file for you. So there it is. This is the size I was waiting for. It's not quite the Air 58, but it fits me a lot better than the medium does. If you are looking for that exact one-for-one copy of the Air 58, you're gonna have to keep looking because what we've got here is something that's about 10-ish% smaller. It's just a lot of fun to play with. I don't see this leaving my desk anytime soon. Months after my ULX video, it still comes down to the ULX and the X2H from Pulsar in rotation. I do still have a long-term review of that mouse coming out pretty soon. This size makes that decision a lot tougher for me. That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all in the next one. Stay up.